Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walaha ma ba'd. Today we're going to discuss one of the unique characteristics of those who wish to purify their hearts. Up until today, we have discussed characteristics that you should inculcate, you should strive for. Today, we're going to mention a characteristic that actually, in and of itself, it is not praiseworthy. You should not, in and of itself, want to have this characteristic, but you should be aware of it, and you're going to face it, and you have to learn to deal with it. It is mentioned by almost all of our scholars who talk about purifying the heart. Abu Ismail al-Harawi mentioned it, Abu Talib al-Makki mentioned it, Imam al-Ghazali mentioned it, Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah mentioned it. And that is the characteristic of feeling alone and strange when you really want to worship Allah. The characteristic of isolation. You don't desire it, you don't aim for it, but the one who wishes to purify the heart, the one who wishes to attain the highest level of Jannah, you will find out very quickly that you don't have lots of people around you. And many times you have to break away from other people in society in order that you do the level of worship that you want. And this characteristic in Arabic, it is called Ghurbah, or to be alone, to be strange, to be like a traveler. And if you look at the Quran and the Sunnah, we find this concept and motif very clearly. In multiple verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us that the majority are not an evidence for you to be following. وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Most of mankind, even if you're eager to do so, they're not going to accept Islam. وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّوكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If you follow the majority of mankind, you will find yourself to be misguided. If you follow the majority of mankind, you will find yourself to be misguided. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that قُلِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Say Alhamdulillah, but the majority of them do not understand. أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. The majority of mankind will not believe, will not thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, the Quran praises the minority. The Quran tells us that it is only a few people who will manage to break away from the trends of society and worship Allah. In fact, even Iblis recognized this. It is mentioned in the Quran that when Iblis was thrown out of Jannah, what did he say? Iblis said, as quoted in the Quran, قَالَ أَرَأَيْتَكَ هَذَا الَّذِي كَرَّمْتَ عَلَيَّ لَإِنْ أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ لَأَحْتَنِكَنَّ ذُرِّيَّتَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. If you allow me to live, I guarantee you, the majority of the descendants of Adam, I shall misguide them. But a few I won't be able to. Illa qalila. Iblis himself understood, only a few I will not have access to. And Allah Azza wa Jal reminds us in the story of Nuh alayhi salam. He preached for 900 plus years, and Allah says, فَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. Only a few people believe with him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. How few of my servants will really be thankful to me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the highest levels of Jannah, and He says, ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. Few of the people of later generations will be able to meet that highest level of Jannah. So the Quran is very clear. If you go with the majority, if you want to be popular, if you want to go with the flow and be with the crowd, that is not the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The path of Allah requires you to break away. And it's not in and of itself praiseworthy, but there is no other solution. Ibn al-Qayyim mentions, therefore, the Muslim will find himself strange amongst non-Muslims. When the non-Muslims, maybe they come together, they're partying, they're having some type of, event or banquet or whatever, and you have to stay away from the alcohol, you have to be slightly different, you feel alone and strange. And then Ibn al-Qayyim goes on, and the righteous Muslim will find himself strange amongst other Muslims. Sometimes you want to be of the righteous, following the Sharia, and unfortunately many of your lay Muslims will not be at that level. You feel strange in that crowd. And then he says, and those that want to achieve the highest level, spiritual purification, they will feel strange even amongst the righteous Muslims. So today we're reminding you of a stage. It is not in and of itself praiseworthy, nor is it blameworthy. It doesn't mean you're right if you're stranger alone, nor does it mean you're wrong. But if you wish to be of those who worship Allah, and you wish to make sure you go to the highest of the high, you will face a type of loneliness, a type of estrangement from the rest of the community, from the rest of mankind. And in fact, our Prophet ﷺ, he gave us some glad tidings about this. He told us this reality in a number of traditions. He said, "Tuba lil ghuraba," give glad tidings, they shall get Jannah, the ghuraba, the strange people. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, who are these ghuraba? Of course, gharib actually means a traveler. He's called strange because when you're a traveler in the old days, you spoke a different language, you looked differently, you had no shelter, you had no family and friends, you literally stick out in the crowd. That's what a gharib person is. So our Prophet ﷺ said, give glad tidings to that person who is not like the rest of the crowd. He was asked, who are these people, Ya Rasulullah? He said, listen to this, الَّذِينَ يُصْلِحُونَ إِذَا فَسَدَ النَّاسِ, the ones who strive for purity when the rest of mankind has become fasid. They go down the route of impiety, and this person wants to remain pure. Subhanallah, how difficult is it to remain pure in the world that we live in? How difficult is it to control one's gaze, to control one's desires, to control one's rizq and make rizq halal? How difficult is it to protect one's family from the filth around us? This is where we take consolation. It's not that we aim to be strange, but we take consolation. Yes, we act weird sometimes in public. Yes, we dress differently. Yes, people look at us differently. Yes, we cannot act the way everybody else is acting in the events and the corporate parties and whatnot. We have to be different. So embrace this difference and understand when you are different for the sake of Allah, this is the path of piety. Tuba lil ghuraba. Give glad tidings to those that are appearing to be strange. And in one hadith, and we'll conclude with this one, our Prophet ﷺ predicted in a very famous hadith in Tirmidhi, he predicted that a time will come when greed shall be obeyed. Greed will be obeyed and desires will be followed. In other words, mankind will become corrupt. So our Prophet ﷺ said, when that time comes, listen to this, فَعَلَيْكَ بِخَاصَّةِ نَفْسِكَ وَدَعْ عَنْكَ الْعَوَامِ. Make sure you take care of yourself and ignore the masses. By ignore, it doesn't mean don't preach to them. It means don't follow them. It doesn't mean you don't have a responsibility to be a role model. It means don't take them as role models. This is a hadith. Take care of yourself and ignore the masses. Then he said, a time will come when the one who is patient upon the religion will face the type of persecution or the type of pain that the one who holds on to burning coals, al-qabidu ala al-jamr. It's as if when you want to worship Allah in that society, you might be picking up some hot coals in your hand. That's how difficult it is. And then he gave some good news to all of us. He said, the one who stays upon his deen in that time shall get the reward of 50 of you. The Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, do you mean 50 of us or 50 of them? Do you mean 50 amongst us, the Sahaba? One person in the later times has the potential to earn the reward of 50 of us, or surely you meant 50 of them? He said, no, 50 of you. And this is good news for us, glad tidings for us. Obviously, the maqam of the Sahaba, we can never reach it. But the ajr of somebody trying to worship Allah when everybody has gone spiritually bankrupt, when everybody is preaching fasad, when there is no morality and you want to preach morality, practice morality, when there is no akhlaq and you want to be upon akhlaq, well then, you're going to have to embrace ghurbah, strangeness. You're going to have to embrace being different from the crowd. You're never going to be cool. You're never going to be mainstream. And accept it. It's okay. That's the reality of the one who wishes to achieve the highest of the high. So to summarize today's lecture, this is an interesting concept because in and of itself it is not praiseworthy, but it is inevitable. It's going to happen. The one who wants to worship Allah, the one who wants to purify one's heart, the one who wants to get to Firdaus, you're going to have to live a life that is somewhat different from other people. And you're going to have to embrace a little bit of strangeness, Ghurbah. And you will have to understand that there is no other way. وَقَلِيلٌ مَا هُمْ. You want to be from the qaleel. You want to be from those people. And so embrace this and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are from those who are worshipping Him. And inshallah we'll continue tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
فيا ذلي ويا خجلي إذا ما قال لي ربي أما استحييته تعصيني ولا تخشى من العتب وتخفي الذنب عن خلقي وتأبى في الهوى قربي فتب مما جنيت عسى تعود إلى رضا الرب تعود إلى رضا الرب